Pretzel. That's wheel bar so you don't turn over. So you don't fall over. Yeah, everybody has some of this.
Okay, well, you've got an information booth over here called that's going to bring us into the thousand world of cyberspace, and I think that's really great. Everybody sign up. I think you sign up on sign up ready, and it's free, and it's going to walk us back into the days of yesteryear. I guess I you don't want to wait that long. You can find a video and take it home with you today, man.
Hey, on? On? It ain't beauty for sale, but take off. I got 38 Plymouth truck. One we built. That's good.
Supposed to be here with one car and go back and get another one. I don't know.
I thought you was bringing that,
The white one? Both of them?
yeah, the little red and white.
But how good a shape is he in?
I don't know.
And cars for sale, guys like to sell.
You gotta love it, man. 32 Ford, still got the flathead in it. Only real update on it is hydraulic brakes, which Ford didn't come up with until 1939. Yeah, 32 Ford. Oh, don't even think about it, guys. It's too nice for that. No, don't even think about it. That's pretty neat. Yeah. Got an 85 horse flathead in it. Updated it to a 39 Trans. Gets a single best second gear. Now, sometime here within the next. Okay, now we're looking for Jerry Klein. Is that it?
Mr. Kessler would like to consult with you. Yes, we've been talking for a while.
Quick, put a car cover on it.
What do you mean? I can get behind you and hide. Oh, no. Oh, will you look at us? You want to break the camera?
And after the war, when the government gave it up, Al's Body Shop and the people bought the facility. The buildings have gone away over the years, but the main highway is still down there, and it was used as a drag strip up until 1956. Now, the strip still exists. They went down there, they mowed the weeds, they sawed down the trees. We can see it. And the staff is going to walk us down there and give us kind of an overall view of what's happening here. No, it's free. It doesn't cost anything, but we want to take you down there on a guided tour. We don't want you just wandering all over the place because there is private housing here.
That's for Dave Bloom. He's wanted on the phone.
Got a phone call, Dave Bloom.
All right. You want to go strip? No, thank
He wants to go down there and strip. Can I come on?
No, usually we do that about 90 miles an hour. I rode with Rocky. Mercedes at Rocky's house.
Yeah, that's real. They decided they needed a place for their little telephones to work right. They came to us, and well, it wasn't doing anything, so might as well get a little something towards the taxes on the place.
You had to cut down all the trees.
They did that.
That's
They were pretty sweet about that. We kind of like that end of it. Then they give us a couple of them little fancy phones that I really don't know how to run. You know, you give me that old dial one and them wires hooked to it, and I'm just fine. That other stuff, I like things real simple. I don't like to take I like mechanical's better. How's that?
Yeah.
I don't want machines thinking for me.
This is original all concrete.
Yes, it was all concrete. Yeah, just as soon as they all get here, like I said, I'm going to try to give you guys the best take up on it. There's a couple of guys that are here amongst us here that raced here, and if I have left anything out, maybe they could, you know, throw in some tidbits there. And
See, you got Bill Vanderwater here this year, huh?
we got so many people I couldn't even remember them all.
Oh, you don't know who Bill Vanderwater is?
No, because I'm lucky I can remember who I am, Pete.
He was the guy that started Indianapolis 500 for years.
Okay. Yeah, I had to tell you what, it's gotten so bad, I wrote my name on the mirror when I get up in the morning so I can look at it and remember.
You're lucky. I read the obituary. My name's not in there. I started.
Yeah, we got a few more there. They're kind of straggling there, and then we'll run through the whole thing there.
You got another whole crew back there coming down.
Yeah, we'll give them a couple of minutes here. And it ain't like we're going informed last year, so I did misinform a few people. I told them they came in where we had the blacktop driveway coming in by the shop there. I got new information that they came in that end entrance where we had everybody coming in for the general parking. And they came and then came up that driveway where we had crossed there right by the lilac bush there. And they all lined up. They were weighed in roughly like in front of the house in that area there, and given their classifications, whether it be, you know, 4-barrel, 2-barrel, what weight, you know, if you were like a modified or whatever class you were in. They were all gasser classes here. There was no nitro or, you know, or alcohol or anything like that. And they brought the cars in, they lined them up. They came in on this road over here, turned around here. I guess you would call this the staging area right here where they did whatever. They lined them up here, and believe it or not, they raced side by side. Can you imagine expecting some guys race side by side on this now? And yeah, if you go up there and you look at the tape, it's kind of interesting. Is that, you know, they had a flagger out here, which, you know, to me, he had cojones, because get in front of a guy with a, you know, cut loose with his car there, I mean, that takes some guts. And they'd flag and run off to the side, and pray to God they didn't trip. Race side by side up here, and I think Phil, the one with the hat back there, told me that they watched for the sidewalks. That was their markers, to make sure they'd stay in their lane. Tried to keep themselves as close to the sidewalks there as possible. And you went through the 2 drains up there, not this first one, but the second 2 there. If you look at the tape, you'll actually see the cars. They go like this through the drain. So I mean, car control was a major deal back then. And you know, you didn't have your own 25 or 30 foot wide strip. Just you know, we can go to one side or the other. And no, you stayed in your lane on a very narrow street. And the fastest car out here was an MG. It had a Cadillac in it with, I believe, a blower and some side draft carburetors, possibly Weber's or other carburetors of that same nature. And it ran 83 mile an hour, if memory serves me right, out here from a dead stop, you know. And I tell you what, that's uphill, concrete road, tires, you know, about as wide as your normal bicycle is now. And that's pretty impressive. And on that tape up there, it'll show it. I mean, that guy hardly even laid any rubber. I mean, he had his chassis figured out, so he got his power applied. It just was kind of, you know, run 54, they were just telling me up there. I thought they just played around here in 54, but some of the guys were telling me that they actually were running this as full competition in 54 with other people coming, and 55 and 6, and we had thought 57, but they corrected me and says no, because everybody by then had wandered up to Oswego because, you know, it was a much better facility, you know. This was basically organized, you know, racing, but it was street racing. You're racing on a street instead of having your own specified lane and a few other neat little things. So it had its, you know, it had its own appeal because in a way it was some of the first, you could call it sanctioned or organized racing, because when you ran here, you had to fit into a class. You couldn't just show up and say, you know what I mean, I got $50, I'm running against this guy here, you know what I mean? That had to be something that was set aside probably and done at a, you know, and maybe when the races were over. These guys actually ran in classes here. What class did you run in, Phil? Do you remember?
No, but that GM2 beat me.
Now, Pete, what class did you run in?
Stock.
Just a stock, okay. And what'd you run in?
I had a 55 T-Bird modified.
Okay, you're running the modified
I
then.
imagine it was at that time.
Okay, yes.
Carburetors and stuff.
Okay, anybody else here that raced here? I'm not seeing, maybe that had raced here. So,
1956.
56 you ran here, okay.
Towards the end.
Yes, and that was, it was, you know, it was racing, and I want to call it in its infancy. It was pure. It was, you know, there was a lot of, you know, not a lot of spectacular things like there is now. You know what I mean? It wasn't a bunch of people with sponsors all over their cars and all this other stuff. This was guys showing up, having a little fun. They got a trophy, and they were just happy as you could be.
Still have it.
What's that?
Still have
Still
it.
got your trophy? That's cool.
Hey, there's one right there.
Yes, that's it.
the car.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
I know where
it.
he
That's
is.
exactly what I have.
That's exactly what you're
There's
doing.
one of them at my mom and dad's house somewhere that when the whole thing was over, the Eilers had given it to my grandparents, who was actually the ones that owned this place at the time. Whoops, I'm sorry, Gary. I didn't see there, bud. And they had it. I remember seeing it, but for some reason my mother put it up, and it's one of them things. Gonna remember where she put it. She's got it put away, and it's real safe because I don't think she quite remembers. It's still there, but it's just a matter of locating it. It's on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah.
And it was just, I guess you could say it was a real special time because it was one of the first organized racetracks in the state of Illinois, I guess you could say. Now, had anybody here raced at Lawrenceville, was it?
Yes.
You raced there?
Yeah.
Now, was that?
That was an old airfield.
Yes, okay. Similar to Half Day was an old airfield.
Yeah, I grew up with Fred Lorenzen. He had a Ford Alac at that time. He won his class 2 years in a row there. And I ran a 55 Ford there.
Okay, okay. Now, was that organized, or was it just run? Was it match racing?
No, that was organized.
It was all organized. Okay, so see, I didn't know. You know
that was
about
something.
yes, that was. I know that some of the guys that had run this track had went together down there several times, and then.
We were sitting out on the steps of the hotel at 2:30 in the morning, and guys were half drunk. And they were running motorcycles in the circle. A guy came up and interviewed us, and I found out later it was from Time Magazine. I'll be damned if I didn't have 3 paragraphs in Time Magazine later in the year.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right, I'll tell you. But I know that some of the guys that were kind of the hot dogs here, they had went down and raced. I think it was a quarter mile.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so.
Well, a half day too. You know, that was the end. I saw that at the end.
Okay.
I didn't run there, but I was there to watch them.
Well, that was kind of an outlaw thing, though. Half Day was. It was
yeah,
kind
it was
of
an old auxiliary airfield too.
Kind of a
That was
match race type
The
thing.
first time I ever saw a Hemi in a 32 coupe.
Yeah.
And the last race of the day, he got beat. A kid on a BSA motorcycle beat him. Sitting with a T-shirt and Levi's on and tennis shoes. And he beat that damn 32. Unbelievable.
I had a BSA motorcycle. Yeah. And yes, exactly what that.
Yeah.
It was something about bringing manure to America too. Good handling bike, just didn't want to run real long. But like I said, this is this
Yeah.
was
BSA.
yes.
Stopped again.
Oh boy.
And I think everybody that raced here had a good time, and like I said, it was long before I was, thought of. So, you know what I mean? It's just, I'm going by what everybody's trying to fill me in about it. It's, I do, like I said, the guys told me they had to watch the sidewalks, and that was their markers.
It was fun though.
Yes, and you guys were running big cars. They didn't really have the most rubber on them, I could say. And one guy actually did go through the fence down there. He lost control. I don't know if the brakes didn't work or the throttle didn't come back when he thought it ought to, or what the whole deal was there.
Just got over anxious. And
There we go.
There we go,
Jerry can fill me in there. Yes.
Charlie Brown here, Roger Collins.
Okay.
He was there.
Yes.
He
Okay.
was in day one.
Yes. So I mean, it's I know the fence is still all.
That was the demise of the track because the government got on us about fixing the darn fence.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, my grandfather didn't speak the greatest of English, so he tried, but it didn't work real well. When he got arguing, I think some other words came out. Because you ever notice anybody that's ever come from a foreign country, they never get the normal language down, but they can get them other words perfect.
Boy, do they love drag racing.
International language.
Yes, right.
Speed.
But it's just as a, I guess you could say, I want to call it, you know what I mean, just drag racing as it was. Anybody have any questions maybe about anything, or?
Does anyone remember Oswego on dirt the first year?
I was told about that.
I raced there.
Okay.
We used to run snow tires.
Now you guys ran the other way though, didn't you?
Huh?
You ran the other way. You ran towards
It was
this.
parallel with the highway originally, wasn't it?
No, it was still the other. It went out. It
Okay.
went out.
See, somebody
As
told
far
me.
as I remember, Jesus, that's a, you're
I know
talking.
it was already changed when we started running it for
But it was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, you got behind it was nothing but dust. But we did. We ran snow tires on the car and we raised up the